Stephen, let's see. Right, we're live, man. I think we're live.
I think so.
Live. We're so professional. Hey! Just step onto the screen, step onto the shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very professional. And I look like a Red Skull from the MCU, Stephen,
I've got to say, John, I'm not liking the thumbnail at the moment. You're going to have to fix that. It looks terrible, but...
Well, I've done my best, Stephen. Hopefully there is a thumbnail in there.
Ow.
It's quite prescient to the conversation here,
Yeah,
Stephen, because I
I'm
look
just
like
gonna
Red Skull, so...
adjust my camera a little bit here,
Yeah.
John, because...
No
if
DSLR or
anyone-
mirrorless cameras in this show, Stephen.
Yeah, if anyone's unfortunate enough to tune into this at the moment, we're not quite there yet with live broadcasting, but listen,
No.
we've got to take the plunge, we've got to get in there, we've got to try things out, you know, and it's very basic at the moment, but we are obviously looking to...
Stephen's in the Wolf Slayer at the moment,
Yeah, it's very
and I'm
dark
in
here.
Voromir.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Mount Doom.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Smeagol or Golem to jump over my shoulder
Yeah.
at any moment and bite me in the back and try and get a ring off my finger, but I don't have any rings.
Yeah,
Problem, so screw
I
you, you
tell
little
another
scruffy
thing,
shit.
John, that I'm going to have to get used to is obviously I'm used to working with our Canon cameras, but I'm actually looking at the sort of webcam on my MacBook at the moment, but
Yes.
it's very distracting, so you might see my eyes stray.
And I'm
Like
looking
I
at
used to in the olden days when I used to look at the viewfinder, but
an iPhone XS, Stephen, so it's I went downhill here. But Stephen, what do you make about that first little... Well, not first, because we're only speaking about one real snippet of information on this
Yeah.
live stream today. We're
not
not
con-
making life
no,
hard for
listen, we're not
ourselves.
confident enough to do multiple subjects at the moment, but this coming in from Screen Rant, John. Logan director supports Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine in the MCU. Now, James Mangold, that is, you know, he's already worked with Hugh Jackman, I think, twice. He worked on the Wolverine and he worked on Logan with him. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on this article, John? Because James Mangold, I'll just actually read what he had to say.
Yes.
It's not a big, long and winded quote or anything. It's long enough for me to make a few muck-ups here live, but he does say, I'd be startled that Hugh was strapping on again. Strange phrase. The thing that I always want to know when I hear this is obviously on the web. Everyone trades in rumours, so the nugget or the headline becomes the clickbait in the trade, so that it would be Downey's back or Jackman's back would be the headline, which people would then debate.
Yeah.
What I'd be curious about, if any one of these things happened, would be what are they doing with it? Meaning I would have no qualm about it if someone had a good idea. If it's basically I ran out of money, I needed a big paycheck, and I'm doing an empty film that cheapens the quality of the previous, well, that would be its own sadness.
Yeah, it would, Stephen. If you're doing this and you're bringing back the great man that is Hugh Jackman, a man synonymous with the character of Wolverine, then you have to do it from a position of heart, a position of a real good script, a foundation, if you like, of having a good script. You don't just want to be bringing this guy back into the MCU as a sort of one and done, superficial story. He's back, he's working with maybe, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's not how you bring the man back. If you're bringing this character back, and it really has to be Hugh Jackman who comes back to portray him, and I disagree that it does, but if it has to be, then it has to be a story that has real significance for the character, real significance for a James Mangold, so that you're not cheapening what came before, because what came before is one of the best comic book movies ever created. Logan was a fantastic movie. I'm getting slightly distracted by the lack of actual video shot here. I think my phone may have collapsed. If it has, and there's no audio on this stream, then I'll just pass it over to you, Stephen, and have a little look at what's going on.
Yeah, you can check that out just now, John. My thoughts on this whole thing is that this is mostly coming from the director Mangold, rather than Hugh Jackman. There's no quotes in there from Hugh Jackman saying that he'd be interested in obviously taking the mantle of Logan / Wolverine once more. Now, I watched, just because we've been in lockdown, I've been watching a lot of Graham Norton's sort of playback videos with the likes of Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen as well. And one of the things that they discussed was obviously, I think it must have been when they were doing the promotion of Logan, and it was Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman. Now, both of them, the way they were speaking was that this was, we already knew that Hugh Jackman had announced this was going to be his final appearance. I think that's you back on, John.
I'm back on, fantastic.
So he always maintained this would be his final appearance. Patrick Stewart actually revealed on this show that this would be his final appearance, and it was because both of them had this experience, John, watching the sort of end credits of Logan, where both of them were actually holding hands in the theatre. I think this was the world premiere of the film, you know, and both of them were trying to hold back the tears. That's how I don't think this is going to happen. There's a few things why I don't think this is going to happen. One of them being, I don't think Hugh Jackman wants to come back to this role. He put his heart and soul into Logan, along with obviously James Mangold and the other various writers, etc., to make sure this was the perfect ending to his time as Logan. And to get back into this character once more with the MCU, as epic as it would be, and I love Hugh Jackman playing this role, and I can't see anyone else playing this role, it just doesn't sit right with me. I've got to be honest with you, I don't really want to see it for those reasons, because I think Hugh Jackman, I think Logan was just the perfect way to end his stint with the character, you know, and I don't really want to see him coming back in that fashion.
You need to remember, Stephen, I think he's about, late 40s now, getting into his 50s.
Oh, he's a lot older than me.
He is a lot older, so he's probably 50s.
Yeah.
This man's lost a lot of muscle mass. It's almost like, I'm wearing a Patriots hat, he's no longer a Patriot, but Rob Gronkowski lost a lot of weight, big tight end, big guy. And then there was talk of him coming back last season. Will he come back, will he not? He never had enough muscle mass on his body to come back. Of course, now he's went with Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he will be coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an analogy for Hugh Jackman. Perhaps he will be coming back into the role of Wolverine. But for me, just now, I feel like he's too old. He's not got the willpower to get back into the gym, hit the weights and get that muscle mass back on that would be required to play the character as we knew him. Because this would have to live in some strange sort of netherworld. It'd either have to be a prequel to Logan, or it's completely disconnected to all of those stories, in which case he has to put muscle mass on it anyway. So for me, I don't want to see it.
No.
I'm with James Mangold. If it can be handled correctly and it's a one and done or something, or maybe a 2-3 story arc, and it absolutely has to be Hugh Jackman, then I suppose I could live with it. But personally, I don't want to see it. I don't think the man's got the willpower to play the character now. I think he wants to go off and do song and dance movies like The Greatest Showman and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the Sours is the
not right
to Logan as well.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
You can't look at that film again, you know, if he's to reprise this role, John. And this kind of brings us into the sort of second part of this topic, because it is only one topic we're going to be talking about. Another thing that's concerning me, John, is obviously the microphone for me is slightly a little bit distant, so
yeah.
I apologise if people can't hear me.
Sounds like Rob Brydon speaking in a tiny little
box,
can, yes, tiny little box.
The other thing is, John, obviously the introduction to the mutants. I think this is what they're calling them these days. It's not X-Men.
Yeah, we know why that is. Simon Kinberg, you rat.
So,
you've ended the X-Men, Simon. You've ended it with that goddamn Dark Phoenix. What have you done?
Yeah,
You've killed it.
They went out with a whimper, John. I've got to be honest with you. But one of the things Kevin Feige is going to obviously have an issue with and have a problem. He's going to have to really sit down with his writers and really work out how they're going to handle this. I don't know how the best way to handle this is were these mutants always in existence? Are we going to get a sort of a birth of the mutants, maybe perhaps set in the 1970s or something like that? I don't know how it's going to handle it, John. Are they always been there? That's the other thing, you know. I don't know if that sits well with me, I've got to be honest with you. With everything that's happened in the MCU, these mutants have just been lying dormant. I can't really get my head around that.
They're not propagating the whole inhumane thing or something. That was their take on the mutant spirit prior to also the Disney Fox takeover.
Yeah.
So they had their eyes on a completely different variant of mutants prior to that deal. Now, once that fell in their lap, of course, all the fruits of that sort of deal, that obviously gives them the opportunity to go in and do the the proper mutants, the X-Men, if you like. But as I did say, Stephen, Simon Kinberg's ended any usage of the X-Men franchise, the tag, the name, whatever you want to call it, for the next 10 years at least. With that, I mean, I'm doing a disservice to Simon here. It's not just Dark Phoenix. Apocalypse wasn't great either. Ever Diminishing Returns, Last Stand was an absolute abomination. So maybe Disney just don't want the name. Their brand's sullied with the X-Men at the moment. By all accounts, they're not wanting to use X-Men branding because maybe it's just this precious snowflake crap we've got as well. In certain parts of the world, not prevalent here. We just like good old-fashioned sectarianism in this country. We don't go for the sort of tribalistic politics nonsense we get over in the States, but over there, we've got a certain degree of a brand of feminism in certain political spheres who don't like usage of men in titles where there's women in that franchise. So perhaps that's another reason.
I can see the reason for that, John.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe we should have called as X-Women or something about what the hell Lauren
said.
said.
The X-Men, John, but we're living in a different age from when these, this part of the franchise, obviously with Marvel, was, first, explored. Different mindset, different world we live in. So it seems like cheap shots when you're getting Jennifer Lawrence saying things like that,
Especially when she's been phoning in her performances for the past decade.
Yeah, I've got to agree.
You get a cheek. Yeah, lazy. But anyway, if anyone's going to make a remark, it's going to be James McAvoy, a Michael Fassbender, maybe a Nicholas Hoult. It's not going to be Jennifer Lawrence. She's done nothing for a decade. That character was dead as a dodo.
Just to finish up what we're talking about, though, John, I
yes.
think, just in regards to the Hugh Jackman thing, I think they've got to have a clean break now. I think it doesn't matter who's going to step into the role. They're going to have a hard task convincing people that they're just as good as Hugh Jackman doing this, and it's going to be a tall order for anyone coming in. There's been names being put about for the casting of Wolverine. I think
Taron Egerton, was one.
Taron Egerton was one of them, John.
God no.
I don't think I would rather see them going with a maybe semi-unknown person. I'm not saying Henry Cavill was unknown at the time of taking over, the Superman role or anything like that, though. But someone coming in that's maybe familiar.
Yeah.
People do recognise who they are, but not someone like Taron Egerton, who's already an established star in his own right.
Yeah.
And I think I just like to see this sort of part of the MCU, the mutants part of the MCU, when it is introduced in whatever way they're going to do it. It's going to be all fresh faces, maybe unknowns. I think it's the only way to deal with it.
Well, Stephen, I'm looking at an article just now. I popped it up. They're saying 5 actors who would be perfect to play Wolverine. Now, Hugh Jackman, he's played Wolverine. He's done with the character. He is perfect. Some would say he's too tall, but I disagree. Look, it's comic book sort of stories.
Yeah.
I understand there's a foundation for these characters. Batman should be 6'2". The Joker should be God knows what. Wolverine's supposed to be 5'5". He's a little bit taller than the comic book variant of the character, but Hugh's done. We've spoke about that at the start of the show. We don't want to see Hugh back. He's done with the character. John Bernthal. No. John Bernthal, who played the Punisher, who was, I think, I can't mind his name in the actual Walking Dead, but no, man, he's too prominent. No. Jason Momoa.
Again, no.
No, he's too prominent. He's synonymous with the role of Aquaman. No. We don't get Jason Momoa. And Tom Hardy, Lord, no. I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Big fan of that man, what he's brought to many a role. Likes of Legend and Bronson and that one that was in the car, it was fantastic. He was acting to himself in a mirror.
Yeah.
Guy's a great actor, but certainly short in stature though. But I mean, no, I don't want to see him playing it. Charlie Hunnam, again, I'm disagreeing with every single.
It's because they're known.
Stephen, the last one's the best. I'll leave the last one. I'll let you speak if you've got anything to say.
I've not really got much more to say, John. I'm just going to reiterate, obviously, what I did say. I don't want someone that's already well known, and
no,
especially like you said, like Jason Momoa. I don't want someone in there already well known. Franchise in another studio as well. They're basically the rival studio. It caused a lot of conflict, wouldn't it? Finding someone like him in.
Charlie Hunnam's blonde as well. He's 6 foot and he's blonde. It's not Wolverine at all. Have you seen people dyeing their hair black, dark brown when they're blonde? It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the chap is it Tom? I can't remember his second name. Plays Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
He's
Yeah.
clearly not got dark hair.
No, he's a sort of and Cumberbatch is ginger as well, Stephen. So there you go. They've rounded up this little list, this little impromptu list that I'm going through by ushering is in an Oscar Isaac, perhaps one Poe Dameron.
He'd be the right height.
Yeah, he'd be a bit tall, but it's again he's not. It's too well known, Stephen. Great actor, though he is. The last one though, Stephen. If you're talking about height, he's a little bit short, but Danny DeVito. Would you like to see Danny DeVito playing Wolverine in the MCU? Wow.
No.
Danny DeVito.
Danny
DeVito.
I've
Danny
been a big-
peaked with the Penguin. Let's be honest.
Well, this is the thing, that's the
Oh,
sort of,
Jesus,
when
Danny
you think
DeVito.
of big blockbuster films and you think of Danny DeVito, it's possibly Batman Returns or Twins. It kind of springs to mind.
Yeah,
Again, it's just that same argument. He's too well known.
he is. Stephen is.
And then he's too old and he's too short. And, well, he's not too short. I don't know Danny's height, but
Under 5 foot. He's way too short.
he's just not the right shape. That's probably the best way to put it.
And he ain't ever going to be getting into shape. We talk about Hugh Jackman not having the willpower to put on the muscle mass to play Wolverine. Danny DeVito is not got the willpower to play.
I don't know, John. Did you see him in Friends when he was that stripper?
Oh,
he
good
really
lord.
worked out for it.
Yes, the belly lapping over the legs. Stephen Taron Egerton, I have to say, look, of the names that have been bandied around, he's not even on this list.
No.
He would be one I would be interested in seeing if perhaps it could happen. Again, I think with Daniel Radcliffe at one point as well, Harry Potter, of course, getting linked. I'm not entirely sure, Stephen, I want to see this character appearing in the MCU quite so soon.
Yeah.
Logan was 2016, if I'm right, 4 years ago.
Yeah,
It's way too soon. You need a decade of a gap before we see this great character popping up. What he says about the actual origins, I never actually gave my thoughts. I think I was over trying to sort the camera out before we round this up, because with time is going on here. It's 25 to 12 at night. I think
Standard
that
time.
it's British Standard Time, yes, of course. Probably about Lord knows where in America.
Yeah.
But I think they may sliver them in the perhaps the Fantastic Four movie. There was talks that the new Fantastic Four origins would set up the sort of backbone of the mutants' origins, if you'd like, or perhaps it would be in the Eternals as well.
Yeah.
These characters having spanned thousands of years. I think they'll find a way. If anyone's going to get it right, then it will be Kevin Feige. He will find a way to introduce the mutants, the X-Men, whatever they're called, into this great MCU, and I'm sure it'll all spawn together and be a homogeneous and beautiful beast of a thing, because Kevin knows how to produce movies, and that's why I want to see him doing more than one movie in Star Wars, but that's for another day, Stephen.
Listen, John, I'm actually just looking at some of the comments that are coming in. Someone's actually retracted one. They should have kept it up there. It was an absolute belt. It was in regards to your T-shirt.
Yes.
Comparing it to something that Ernie out of Sesame Street.
That's thinking.
You shouldn't have retracted that.
Let's think more Graham Coxon, blah.
Yeah,
there you go.
It certainly does.
Clearly not.
Listen, guys, I can see comments coming in now, but listen, this is our first live broadcast, and we will find a way to obviously interact obviously on our YouTube channel. As I said, this is very early days for us doing
it's
this.
a shambles.
If you actually check out our videos, you'll see they're all sort of pre-produced before they get uploaded to our channel. But
not through a Zoom call.
No, we just felt that it was maybe time that we were doing some live stuff, because we here in the UK we are kind of behind the times at times when it comes to news breaking and stuff like that. And by the time we upload our movie news sort of sections on the Mondays and the Wednesdays and the Thursdays, which is traditionally the days we release our news, some of it can be outdated. So we've been thinking about this for a long time now. So this is our first live broadcast.
Yes.
So there'll be issues. John had issues with his camera there. I'll probably get issues with the sound because the microphone at the moment's not positioned.
Stephen, I've got issues with this table as well, let's be honest.
The lighting as well,
shambles.
On my side, it actually looks not too bad. I think I'm getting a bit off your light, John.
Yeah, you're a bit Prometheus and I'm a bit, as I did say, Hugo Weaving Red Skull, so we'll need to sort that out. Certainly, and I've got the best of the lighting in this room, Stephen, so I don't know what the hell's happened there.
People that watch your videos, they probably noticed we weren't around for a week. There was a good reason for that, and I think it's not any secret, John, because I was talking to one of our writers earlier on today in regards to both of us actually were.
We had the Rona.
Yeah, we had the Rona. COVID. Both of us had that for over a week. tripping out on nuts. I was watching Lord of the Rings with high fever, thinking that
Two
I had
Towers.
to go to Gondor and do a quest to try and get over this virus. I was totally out of
I
it.
thought I was doing the breaststroke,
Yeah,
Stephen.
John, you
Yeah.
were a few days behind me, weren't you?
Yeah.
But
It was great
that was
fun.
the reason we weren't doing any videos for the last week or so. Just try to get over this. Thankfully, we're both at young ages. We can deal with
You
these
can't
things,
keep
you know.
Scottish people down with a coronavirus, Stephen.
Yeah.
Come on, we're made of sterner stuff here in Scotland. That porridge,
Yeah.
So I've not had a bowl of porridge in months. I don't know what shite I'm talking, man. But look, you can't keep us down, Stephen. We're here. We're staying alive and we're back. We're going to obviously continue to do,
Yeah.
I'd presume, a combination of live shows and
Well,
maybe pre-recorded
we're
stuff.
going to be doing tomorrow night. We'll be doing the Matrix movie review. It's going to be a retro review. Just this.
We're from the Highlands,
The reason for it is we explained it on our website and social media channels that obviously during lockdown, not a lot's happening in the world of entertainment. It's starting to pick up now with a lot of things, but we felt that the shows were sort of diminishing because we weren't getting the sort of proper content just with the situation of the world at the moment. So we started doing some movie reviews, which we'll continue to do, and eventually they will sort of filter out just to the Friday nights. And we can get back to doing news and heroes and that kind of thing. Force Friday show is going to be probably dormant for maybe the next year.
Yeah,
or so,
Kathleen
because-
Kennedy's killed that.
Yeah, for the time
Stone
being,
dead.
anyway.
Yeah.
So,
But Stephen, look, we're going to round it up, I think, in that
I
note,
think
because
so,
look,
yeah.
I ain't get much more to add, man, on those short little topics. I'm going to have to actually wander off camera to end this stream. It's an absolute shambles.
yeah.
But we'll find a way of making it a little
I'm
bit
just
more
going to
professional,
do
Stephen.
a Leslie Nielsen, John, and do a sort of freeze frame. So I'd just like to thank you for watching us once again, and if you tune in roughly about the same time tomorrow night, you might see us on YouTube live doing our review of The Matrix. So